Hey everybody! Okay, so we got another news of the day video here for you, and it's just another. It's a lot of more items from the agreement that I haven't already put into news of the day video, and the only thing so far I put in that I got really wrong was the players have the opt out date. I gave it as the 7th, but it's once it all came out, it was actually the 13th. So they have till the 13th to opt out in writing. And I think given the rosters as well, I think the NHL, I had said in the other video, the 13th. I think they have a little longer than that too, but I don't know the exact time frame on that. Okay, so that's the correction. Let's get into news of the day for today. The NHLPA Executive Board approves the new agreement. So the Executive Board of the PA, which is the Players Union, that includes the executive and all the player representatives. That I think there's one or two. They're involved in that, so they voted. They've approved it. The membership vote announcement is expected by Friday, which means this is being filmed on Wednesday. They say it's going to take up to 72 hours. So I imagine today, Wednesday, they're probably already meeting and having votes and stuff like that. So we should hear by Friday. They need 50% plus one, so it's a simple majority to ratify this deal. The NHL Board of Governors are voting soon. I thought they'd already voted. They haven't. They're going to be voting soon. They need 2/3 to approve. It's kind of, I'd be shocked if the NHL Board of Governors says no. I think they want this to happen, so don't expect any news like that. And they'll be doing that shortly. International Ice Hockey Federation President Rene Fassel doesn't expect any issues to getting NHL players back. So when this all agreement, one of the things in the agreement was in 2022 and 2026, the NHL will be able to go back to the Olympics, and it said if they can negotiate the terms with the IOC and the IIHF, not a problem. Already they're saying that. Apparently they are desperate to get them back into the fold, which you'd think that the Olympics would love to have the NHL players back in the fold. And yeah, so I think issues to be worked out are health insurance, travel costs, amongst other things, but those are big issues that they need to work out. Apparently, in previous offers to keep the NHL in the Olympics and stuff, the IIHF and the IOC offered to cover health insurance costs and travel costs as well. So I don't think it's going to be hard to make a deal there. Turn the other way. We'll deal with this in a sec. Phase 4, game times. So here's an interesting, no, not this one. There's next one item is interesting. Phase 4 game times. So once they do start playing games, they're going to be in Edmonton and they're going to be in Toronto. There's a 2-hour time difference. So all game times will be noon, 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. local time. So depending on where you are as opposed to Edmonton or Toronto, it's the local time for there. So for me in Montreal, same time as what we have Toronto has. If I'm watching games coming out of Edmonton, 2-hour difference for me here. So yeah, like I just said, 2-hour difference between cities. Roster sizes for phase 3 and 4. So I don't know if you're like me, but when they first announced roster sizes for the phase, I read it wrong, I guess, or whoever was reporting it kind of left out an important word. So I saw it as in phase 3, 30 players and unlimited goalies. And in phase 4, it goes to 31 players and 3 goalies. Now, that seemed weird because there's also a rule that in phase 3, if you're participating, or let's say it this way, if you're not participating in phase 3, you're not participating in phase 4. So I couldn't figure out how is there one more skater available if it didn't make sense. And now it does because thanks to my buddy Patty Mac, he looked it up and found on the NHL.com page where they're talking about the RTP, the frequently asked questions section, the FAQ, says that it is 31 players, including goalies. So it's 28 skaters 3 goalies, that's 31. Makes a big difference. And if you a video I put out earlier today, looking at who might be on that roster that goes to phase 4, I do mention that, but just bringing it here because I was confused by that. I didn't understand. There's some things that happen with the NHL I don't understand. That's normal, but that I didn't understand how that could be, and it's the including 3 goalies. So if you want to figure out who might be there, I did a video on it. I released it earlier today, so you can check that out. It's my opinion on the roster that's going to go to phase 4. That's without knowing if anybody's opting out. So remember that. I don't know if anyone's opting out at this point, so we'll see if anybody does opt out. Speaking of that, Max Domi and Capo Caco fully intend to play. So opposite to how I've been thinking and I've been reporting, I haven't reported anything official, but I'm surprised to hear this. Max Domi and Capo Caco. There's a third guy with type 1 diabetes, and I don't know his name. It's not coming to me, but he wasn't mentioned in this anyway. They are apparently eager to play and ready to go. Now, the thing that can keep them out is doctors and league health officials. They have the final say. They decide in the long run, is a player at risk to serious health issues if he gets COVID-19. And if that is the case, they will be deemed unfit to play. So I'm still kind of expecting that to be the case. But we'll see. But it's surprising that Domi... I'm not surprised that he wants to play. I'm surprised that he's willing to do it and saying, yeah, I'm going to do this. I don't know. Apparently, though, something I didn't know, even though he has type 1 diabetes, people with diabetes that really are healthy, really watch themselves and all that, and believe me, Max Domi is a poster boy for taking care of yourself if you have diabetes and type 1 diabetes in particular. Apparently, it's not nearly as bad. So people that are in that great shape, that he is in good shape, maybe with his diabetes, it's not going to make a difference. So this could be why he's so up to, I want to play. So previously I've said Max Domi's not going to play. I guess now it might be something that could happen, that he will play. Okay, so now the big story, I guess, sort of, is Montreal, Minnesota, New York Islanders, and in here I'm just going to use Romanov, but the other 2 guys are included. So Montreal hoping Romanov allowed to participate in phase 3 and 4. Now, it doesn't mean play as far as in phase 4. We can just say right now, Alex Romanov will not play in phase 4. Now, I talked about this, I think, yesterday in a video. I don't even remember. I know I talked about it in somewhere. And I didn't really understand, and there's still something here I'm a little not sure of why it's happening, but a little more detail on that, on what Montreal would actually like, if possible, if the league allows, for them to do with Alex Romanov without him actually playing in the games. And that is, okay, first off, we're going to say this. When this agreement is ratified, 3 days after that happens, so say they ratify this on Friday, then Monday, this is what happens. There's a 53-hour window that opens up for these teams that have the players that have been signed while they were in suspension. The league was in suspension. They'll have 53 hours to sign them. It'll burn a year. So that first year, it's like they played. It's going to get burned. But they won't be able to play. That begins 3 days after, and it goes for 53 hours. So it'll stop sometime on Monday. It says it ends 5 p.m. on the 5th day. So what I ask is, what happens then? So I don't understand. Does Montreal, and this I haven't been able to find out. Does Montreal lose the rights to Romanov if they don't sign him? Is the KHL team allowed to re-sign him? What happens if they say, well, we're not re-signing him again? Which doesn't make sense that they would do that, but I'm just curious, what happens if they say, well, we don't want a year to be burnt from the contract? So now, what would they get if they do sign him and he burns the year? And they say he can participate. Is that he could participate in training camp in phase 3. He could take part, I imagine, not in any exhibition game, So if there's an exhibition game, I don't know if he'd be able to take part in that, but he would be able to be at camp, taking part in the training and the practicing and all that stuff, getting to know the guys. Well, we'll get to that. He could be one of the 52 people that they bring to the Toronto Hub. So this is very interesting. He'd be able to go to the Toronto Hub with them. No, he wouldn't be able to play in the games, but any practice, anything that they do, anything as a team, he'd be involved in. That would help him to adjust to being in North America, and by the time that the regular season or next season starts, instead of being a new kid just coming over, everything is all new to him. He would have some experience almost, and he'd be much calmer and relaxed. And it would be, I think that's a big benefit. It would go a long way for him to be in his first, for his rookie season, to feel comfortable and relaxed. So he'd be spending time around the players. He'd practice with the team. He'd have, I wrote here, North American locker room experience. I don't know exactly what that means, but I think it just means, for me, just being in a North American locker room. He's used to a KHL locker room. It's all in Russian. If he's going to be having a long-term career in the NHL, it's going to be in North American locker rooms. Get him adjusted to that so that when he does start to be in the games, and none of that, the players that are there, none of that kind of makes him like agog is the word I'm looking for. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but like, just he's in shock for where he is. Blah, blah, blah. You know, he can concentrate better once he's comfortable and all that stuff. So in the first season that he's playing, he'll be ready in that kind of a way, like a cultural kind of way, you know. Participate in all team functions at the Hub, so taking part in whatever the team does, in their little excursions that they're talking about, the indoor and possibly outdoor excursions, all that kind of stuff, as the hockey guy says, with their little lunch boxes and going on the buses and the excursions. It's a funny picture, but yeah, I mean, to be taking part in all of those things. So if they did that, they wouldn't have to loan him out to a European team, because that's an option for him to not be doing nothing till next season starts up. They could loan him to a European team, I guess another KHL team or a Swedish team or whatever team, right? And yeah, now is there a team that wants to take him on for, you know, like that? I don't know. And it puts him at the risk, obviously, of getting sick with COVID. He could get it. Or he could get injured, you know, he could get hurt playing for another team, a European team, and nothing to do with Montreal. And, you know, do you want to put him at risk for that? Not really. He would take up a roster spot. This is true, so you're limited in a roster spot, although it's bigger. Well, anyway, he would take up one of the 30 guys at the Phase 3, and he would take up one of the 31 at Phase 4, and he would not be able to contribute to the team on the ice. So this is something to, you know, to think about. It's important. But it would avoid him being idle for a very long period of time. Now, there was a rumor that he was coming to Montreal because his girlfriend had posted a picture on Instagram of him with his hockey stick in his bag going on a train, I think. But it turned out that he was going to some kind of a, I think somewhere in Russia, a tournament, somewhere not right where he lives, but he had to travel. And it's a tournament, a 3-on-3, I think it was, a 3-on-3 tournament that he was traveling to, you know, keep himself fresh and all that. So this is the thing. You want to avoid him not sitting idle too long. So this would be great because it would avoid him. He would be with the team. He'd be able to practice and skate and all that time right up until the end of the playoffs. And then he'd be here and ready to go for the next season whenever that does happen. I think I got all my points in. There you go. So there's news of the day. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about any of this, anything about Romanov, about any of the stories here. What you think about it in the comment section below. What you think about my comments about those things in the comment section below. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. It does help with the algorithm, that's for sure. And while you're down there, two things. There's a join button if you want to be a member of the Talking Habs community. You can take a membership. Just hit the join. It explains everything. It starts at $1.99. a month, and you can just check that out and decide for yourself. But it's down there on the join button, and if you haven't subscribed already, you can subscribe and ring that notifications bell. That's going to get you your daily fix of Blue Bar Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. So thanks everybody for watching. Do appreciate it. Please stay safe out there. Wear a mask when there's people around. Very important. Pretty soon, everywhere you're going to have to wear a mask whenever you're outside. Well, indoors, in public. That's for sure. And yeah, please do that so you can get back here and you can watch Talkin' Habs videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out, and I'm going to see you next video. Bye, y'all.